morning to you all. It is, what is today? Friday. Today is Friday, and I am headed out for a work meeting all the way in the downtown area. This was originally scheduled for next week, but it just got pushed to today rather suddenly. So now I'm leaving rather suddenly. I was home working on the FZ6R, pulling off the touring accessories because the buyer is not interested in those accessories. They're not paying me anything extra for those, so they said to go ahead and pull them off, so that's what I'm doing. So I yanked off the 3P side rails for the SHAD system and the tank ring and a couple of other minor things, and now I'm digging around through the garage trying to find the project bags that I had with all the spare parts for the foot pegs and all that stuff where those 3P bags were attaching to. So, all right, sorry dude, I ain't waiting. If I have to send it out with those other bolts in there, fine, I will. I'll just have to buy some more for those bolts to make that 3P kit complete. And I think I know who I'm going to hit up and see if they're interested in that SHAD setup. Half Click Up on YouTube has an FZ6R that he's been riding the hell out of and vlogging with for a very long time, a couple of years or more, 3 years I guess. And he and I have exchanged notes a few times. Hell, I probably should have asked him if he was interested in buying my FZ6. Oh well, too late. The buyer is coming at 2 o'clock today to pick it up, so that's why I'm in kind of a rush. But I'll have the touring accessories and potentially that Yamaha comfort seat, if I can find my original seat somewhere in the garage, that I'm going to sell off separately. It'll be the full touring kit with the bags, the rails, the top box mount and all that. No top box. I'm keeping the top box for my other bikes. Anyway, be a good deal for somebody that's got an FZ6 that wants to set it up for touring or passenger, you know, pillion. I found everything in the garage except for the passenger seat and the original driver's seat and that bag of goodies, loose parts and stuff for the foot pegs and the grab rails, the rear grab handles. Can't find those. They're all together. I know they are because I put them together in a box. Can't find the box. I found my other FZ6R box, the project box with all the stuff in it. So I thought that it was going to be in that same box, but no, I can't be that organized. That'd be dangerous. So I'm trying to haul ass downtown here. They moved the meeting to 10:45, and it is now, I can't read it when it's bouncing, but it's like 10:20. I ain't going to be there on time. Ain't going to be there on time. It is 10:23. Be about 10 minutes late, I think. It depends on how traffic is out here on I-10. We shall find out. But yeah, so as soon as that finishes, I got to haul ass back out here and meet that buyer. The motorcycle shop is sending a truck out to pick up the bike and haul it home. So, or haul it back to their shop. After I get my check, of course. And now that the deal is done, and you guys are going to see this in post, I made money on the bike, so I'm not too disappointed. I think I could have made more. Retail on that thing is going for $6,400 and change right now, and they offered me $5,000, and I thought, yeah, that's a little weak. I understand they've got, you know, dealer overhead, and they've got to be able to make their money on it and all that. So, and if they're financing it, apparently they can finance anything 2012 or newer. So they've got a bunch of different lenders. But once you get up to 100% of retail value, it starts getting a little harder to finance. So I get it. Well, I'm not too concerned. I made $2,000 on it. I only paid $3,000 for the bike, and I'm selling it for $5,000. So got 6,000 miles worth of fun out of it. I've had it for about 6 years. So time to let it find a new home. It's going to be a busy day. So the FZ6 marks the 5th, 6th one sixth, maybe seventh one, sixth or seventh bike that I've thinned out of the herd so far this year. The money from that is pretty much financing my trip up to Annapolis for the Life of Birch meetup, and also my subsequent trip right after that for the Ozarks trip on the scooters, or whatever I choose to ride out there. Being off for 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks, whatever, that's kind of harsh on the income, so got to find a way to offset that if I'm not working, and if I can get rid of these bikes that I'm not riding, then that's okay. This thing darting around reminds me of a comment that came in last night, I guess, or early this morning on my, talking about my alignment and the weird handling on this. And somebody replied saying, there's a fix for that, right? And that was it. Okay, do tell. I've only been fighting it for almost 4 years. Come on, spill the beans, man. There's a magic bullet for this, let me know. Short of dropping it off a cliff or setting it on fire, I think I tried everything else. I've had the thing laser aligned 5 times. I've had the tie rods replaced, or at least the right side. I have not replaced the control arms or the bushings yet, but I'm just at that point that I'm ready to cut bait, because I could keep pouring money into this thing forever and it might not make a difference. So what's the point in spending another $1,400 rebuilding the front suspension? And that's if I do the labor. If I pay a shop, it would be way more than that. So if I were to buy just the pieces, upper and lower control arms, ball joints, shims, bushings, all the stuff that I need to rebuild the front suspension on this thing, to eliminate all the variables, then I'm looking at $1,400 plus, in addition to everything else I've already put in it. So you can see the risk reward benefit there. I've tried changing tire pressures, running them at half of what the manufacturer tag says. I can't remember what they are. I think it's 20 and 28. So 20 for the fronts and 28 for the rear. I've tried running them higher, 7-8 pounds higher. I've tried running them up to 10 pounds lower, because somebody was saying, oh yeah, you should run 12 pounds. You're an idiot. You're running way too much pressure in your front. Well, okay. If I'm an idiot, then go talk to Can-Am, because that's what they say to do in the manual. And it's what's on the little tag up under the little trunk thing here. I always love those armchair warriors, keyboard warriors. Oh, you're an idiot. You're doing it wrong. Blah, blah, blah. I'll blow it out your ass. Why don't you go get one and try it out, jackass? Get some skin in the game. And I don't mind constructive criticism, or if somebody tells me, no, you're doing it wrong, here's how to do it. And they give me some kind of a factual account that's based on experience and not what they've read on the internet. Come on. That don't mean shit. If you haven't done it yourself and you can't verify those results, then it's propaganda, in my opinion. It's hearsay, it's second or third or 10th hand information, and it means absolutely dick. For a while, though, right after I first got the Ryker, I was wondering if I was crazy or just hypersensitive to the issues or whatever. And granted, I probably am to some account, because I have ridden so many bikes and I own so many bikes and I ride so many different modes of, transportation, that I've got a wider palette than some riders might have. But, specifically the Spider owners were chiming in going, no, you're doing it wrong, you're an idiot, and that's not how it works, and this and this and that. Those geniuses don't even own Rykers. They own Spyders. It's a totally different animal. I hit on that a few times in my ride vlogs a while back. Come on, really? You don't own one. What are you talking about? Yeah, the Spyders handle totally differently. They're heavier, for one, which makes a giant difference in how they behave on the road. And then the major structural or mechanical difference between them is the Spyders have rack and pinion steering, and it's power assist. So it's not just a difference in the mechanics and the linkage, it's difference in how they behave. So the Spyders with the power assist rack and pinion, there's very little input on the bars, and I believe it's a variable assist rack and pinion. So you've got different levels of input, you know, based on your speed. That's an assumption. I don't know. It just feels like it from what I've ridden. But the biggest thing there is the mechanical advantage and the differences with road input on the tires or the wheels coming back into the handlebars. So the ratio is different, and that power assist insulates the rider quite a bit, so you don't feel all the bumps, and the handlebars aren't jacking around trying to jump out of your hands all the time. So the Ryker is a very manual bike. It requires a lot of input. I mean, you can see me getting bounced around even just right now trying to go straight. It's a very physical machine, so you've always got to be wrangling it to go in a straight line. Mine is worse than others. So yeah, back to what I was saying. When I first got the Ryker, I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm crazy. But no, there's no way that this was normal. And I knew deep down that this could not be normal, and nobody would accept this as being status quo. And I rode other Rykers, and they didn't do this. And then I let other Ryker owners ride mine, and they all unanimously went, holy shit, that thing's all over the road. Kevin was riding mine in the Twisted Sisters, and he was going, whoa, whoa, because he was trying to corner and then straighten out of the corner, and the damn thing was still banking in. You know, it was totally not doing what he was asking it to do. So he was pretty shocked. He was like, oh my God, that thing is just a rodeo ride. Yep. That's what I've been saying. And I've made little incremental improvements along the way. You know, obviously the first time I got it aligned was much better because it was pulling hard right. That fixed that for the most part, but it's never gotten rid of the twitchy darty, like you can see me getting bounced around here. The original rally tires that were on here, the block tread for off-road, they hated this groove pavement with a passion. I mean, they were just all over the place. It was almost uncontrollable. So when I put the non-rally tread on these, it improved, but it still doesn't like this groove pavement at all. You know, and you can slow down and relax and kind of let it rock and roll and do its bit, but it's still mentally and physically tiring. When you're in traffic in you know, busy cityscape like this, especially in rush hour traffic, and everybody's hauling ass doing Fast and Furious or NASCAR impressions, 85, 90 miles an hour, bumper to bumper, cutting lanes and, you know, munching ass on everybody. That becomes a real problem on this bike because I can get jockeyed half a lane in just a matter of a second. So I'm pretty much munching people's door handles before I can correct the bike. And obviously that makes everyone else around me a little bit annoyed, like I'm a bad driver, bad rider. Not me, man, sorry. I'm trying my best. Why don't you back off and quit tailgating? The other thing that's always surprised me about the Ryker is how much it's pushed around and bullied in crosswinds. I thought with a three-wheel platform, you know, where the body isn't swaying, you know, leaning, whatever, and relatively wide, flat, automotive-style tires, that it wouldn't get bossed around so bad in the wind, but it really does. At least mine does. I haven't ridden any other Rykers long distance or long term on the highway, you know, maybe 50 miles at a time or something like that. And I wasn't in heavy crosswinds to really make mental note of it. I rode Nick's Ryker 600 for a while on a highway trip, and I also rode Kevin Excelsior. I rode his Ryker 900 on some highway runs for, I don't know, not long distance, maybe 10 or 15 miles or something like that. And I didn't notice them getting bullied so bad in crosswinds, but maybe that just wasn't the same circumstances as I encounter on this one. But it gets pushed around quite a bit. more so than a motorcycle, or at least you feel it more than a motorcycle, because a motorcycle you get the reverse, or not reverse, you get the pendulum effect. You get, you know, swayed like this, and you just barely have to dial in counter steer, but your center of gravity stays pretty much over the center line no matter what. With the Ryker, your upper body is getting bossed around, or weeble wobbled is what I call it. You get weeble wobbled around because the bike is rocking laterally side to side instead of penduluming underneath you. Biggest thing for road trips or touring on the Ryker, it's even an issue in town, but especially for longer road trips, is having 3 independent tracks. You've got a lot more to watch out for on the road. You're going to hit something without fail. You know, if you have a tire carcass in the road, or a pothole, or some kind of, you know, road problem, you know, I beat you. You're going to hit it. You can't get around it because you got a very narrow path right here where your feet are on both sides. That's it. Basically, right inboard of the tires, left and right, is the only place that you can miss because you got the rear tire right under your butt. So typically what I do is I'll just try to put it over one of those sides, and I end up hitting it with the rear tire and getting a good shot to the kidneys. Better than hitting it with one of the front wheels, though, or the radiator in the front. Obviously is what you're trying to miss, because that thing's only, you know, 4.5, 5 inches from the ground. If you hit with one of your front wheels, you're going to tear up your alignment and your suspension pretty quick. So today might be one of the last days that I ride with the Hero 7 right here. My Hero 10 or 11, Hero 11, the new one, is coming in today, and then my media mod and some of the other stuff should be here tomorrow. I had those shipped separately because when you have batteries, the batteries get delayed because they can't go air freight. So hopefully I'll have that camera and I'll start playing with it for a couple of days before my road trip up to Annapolis. Be able to make sure I've got all my mount and my camera angle sorted out and all that, make sure the microphone is working as it should, and not have any video production glitches, or less than I have with this thing anyway. And for as many years as I've lived here, what are we doing here? As for many years as I've lived here in Houston, I'm not good with downtown. What are we doing? I'm not good with downtown. I can never remember. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I do apologize. I've got to get out of that. I don't want to get rear-ended. I don't know downtown where the flip, man. I always get confused down here. I don't have the street map memorized as far as what order they're in. And downtown Houston is on a diagonal grid, so it doesn't match up with the rest of town. It's kind of different. And there's a lot of one-way streets here that really mess me up. So I've got to find Travis and Texas, and I think it's this first exit that I take into the downtown area here. Tired of waiting. Take this first exit into downtown and run the surface streets, and then I got to find parking in the I think they've got a building. I'm going to something on Texas Avenue, so I think they've got a parking garage attached to the building. If not, then I got to go find somewhere to park and pay. I don't really want to do street parking with this because I don't know if it's going to get vandalized or hit or stolen or whatever. All right. Path of least resistance. Just keep on moving. My phone is supposed to be routing me, but I'm not. The phone is supposed to be routing me, but I'm not getting what I need out of it here. It seems to be ferocicated. It says 3 minutes, so I'm close, but I don't know what it's doing. Google Maps is buggy, and this phone is buggy. That's something else that I need to get upgraded soon. I might do that today or this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade to the S22 Ultra. Come over now, just in case I need to go that way or not. What are you doing? You're sitting in the middle of the road, dude. It's not Congress. I gotta figure this out. It says 0.2 on Texas. Okay, so I gotta come around Texas and then to Travis. Texas, if I recall. Yep. And I'm looking for the parking lot side on Travis. It says 1 minute, ain't it? Milam. Hey, tour bus. I guess Houston is interesting for people that have never been here, so I can see the tourism aspect, but I gotta tell you, there's not that much to see here. I don't particularly care for it. We've got a good museum district. We have the aquarium that's right behind us here. Unfortunately, there was an unfortunate incident there. There was a shooting, a murder there just a couple months ago. Kind of made big news, but it seems to be kind of the theme in Houston lately with all the crime and the things that are running rampant around here. So again, it kind of goes back to the whole tourism. I don't think it's that much to see. Anybody that lives here doesn't like to come down here. Not interested. Kind of like St. Louis. I was interested in checking out St. Louis, but apparently it is not a good place to be. Travis. Yeah, I'm going this way. It's on Travis, they said. It's attached to the building. This must be it. Yeah, here we go. I made it. First shot. Look at that. Okay. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, look at this. It lets me in. I was trying to figure out if I was going to park over there or I probably should park there. All guests must valet on Texas. Looks like I've got to come back around then because I'm a guest and I'm not valeting. No friggin' way I'm letting somebody valet this. Not going to happen. It'll be a Ferris Bueller's day off. I'd come back and there'd be nothing but a giant pile of rubber in my swing arm area from burnouts, and wheels would be all dinged up and wouldn't be tracking straight. It'd be worse than it is now. Alright, back down I go. Unless there was a down somewhere and I'm going the wrong way, who knows. I don't see a one-way, so I'm just going to presume that I'm not breaking the rules here, other than sneak in without permission. Valet. Never let somebody valet your bike. I could give you a horror story too, or than that. Made the mistake of letting somebody valet my Concours one time. Cowie. My Connie. And the guy said that he was a rider, so I kind of trusted him a little bit, somewhat. I thought, okay, well, maybe he won't be a complete doofus and dump my bike. And what did he do? He dumped my bike. knocked it over. He said that he knocked it over as he was putting the side stand down. But when I came back to get the bike later, he told me, "Oh, so sorry. Your left side bag is cracked." Yeah, thanks for that. Of course, I made him pay for it. It wasn't free. I'm trying to clear this guy's door here, give him enough room. I can put the Ryker in here diagonally, so. Just don't want to bang up my taillight. Okay, he's got room to get in his car, and nobody's going to hit me unless they want to hit that pole. Cool. Done. Okay, that's it for me. I will catch you guys later on the way out, maybe. We'll see.